So today, the foreign minister of Iran met with foreign ministers of the EU countries. They are trying to, I guess, work a diplomatic approach to the conflict between Israel and Iran. So the EU foreign minister, before having a meeting with the foreign minister of Iran, they met with the US. So I guess they are also the spokespersons for the US because, Trump is playing hard and it's like, what, we don't want to meet with Iran and all that. But Iran is also saying that behind closed doors, the US has been calling them. And what is it that all of them are saying, right? They're telling Iran, you need to come back to the negotiation table and all of that. And Iran is telling them, we never left. We never left the negotiations. In fact, we were negotiating when Israel pulled a cowardly move behind our backs. And you knew, right, specifically the US, knew that Israel was preparing for this cowardly attack behind our backs. So we never left the negotiation table. Instead of them, right, the EU, to go talk to Israel and tell them, look, stop the bombing, so that we can get back into negotiating, they took their time all day today to call the Iranian prime minister to tell him, you need to come back to the negotiating table. That's the EU for you, right? This is why nobody respects them. You're still wondering if they have some dignity left in these people. The same people who condemned Russia for supposedly attacking Ukraine without provocation are the same people who are telling Iran, come back to the negotiating table, as if it is Iran that left the negotiating table. That is how useless EU leaders are. This is why the world doesn't respect them anymore. And they have nothing to show for. For the past 3 years, we've seen them, destroying their entire institutions because they're playing double standard. And they are not even embarrassed anymore. This is something they're doing openly now. The second thing I'd like to talk about is World War III. So I hear people talking about this conflict between Iran and Israel may bring about World War III. And so I ask, how? Because the way that people talking about World War II, on one side you had Germany, Italy, and some other countries, I'm not exactly sure who, but Germany was a pretty powerful country at the time. They were invading other countries. In fact, France, for example, they invaded France and France had capitulated very fast. They invaded the Soviet Union and they were, planning to go on all the way to Moscow, and